Welcome to Christian Statesman. I'm your host, Zach Wagner, and this is episode 118, Death of a Propagandist. If anyone in our audience is paying attention at all, we can all agree on at least one thing. We are living in an era of unprecedented mass propaganda. We need to take a lesson from history on this. Mass propaganda is a comparatively recent phenomenon. The concept has always been around, but only in recent times have we had the avenues of communication to proliferate propaganda on a mass scale. And by mass scale, we mean across the entire population of a country, a continent, or the bulk of the world's population itself. One of the founding fathers of modern mass propaganda was the Third Reich's Dr. Joseph Goebbels. Basically Hitler's right-hand man during the entire rise and fall of Nazi Germany, Goebbels was the man who designed, originated, and sustained the tremendous lie that Hitler's reign was for the renewed glory of the German people. It was not, and it took over 100 million deaths across the world in one of the darkest periods of history to date to show us all what it was really about. But the origination of the lies and the institutionalizing of those lies were the forte of Herr Goebbels for the better part of his adult life. He is the one who penned the now ubiquitous phrase embraced by all perpetrators of modern propaganda, quote, "If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. The lie can be maintained only for such time as the state can shield the people from the political, economic, and/or military consequences of the lie. It thus becomes vitally important for the state to use all of its powers to repress dissent, for the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie, and thus by extension, the truth is the greatest enemy of the state," unquote. And it is the core of this statement that the criminal minds of today that run the show, and thus the majority of populations subsequently buy into, cherish. Tell a lie, tell it big, and tell it often, until the lie becomes the truth. But a lie is a lie, and truth is truth. It occurs to me that Christ's famous phrases in John chapter 8, quote, "If ye continue in my word, then ye are my disciples indeed, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free," unquote. Just a few verses later, he reminds the listeners, speaking of Satan, quote, "He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it," unquote. All that is truth is light and good, and is given for the benefit of everyone. Wherever there is a lie, there is an ulterior motive, and those motives over time have proven less than beneficial for the majority. And in many ways, have Christ's words from over 2,000 years ago been fulfilled to the very letter. Whenever there is a lie, and in the modern era lies can be found everywhere in mass propaganda, oppression, death, and destruction usually follow. We have seen it across the course of the last century. Where do you think the current crop of propaganda, including propaganda surrounding everything from elections to economies to health crises, to even the very illusions of the fabric of our current society, will eventually lead us? Perhaps the demise of Herr Dr. Goebbels will provide an example and a clue. In May of 1945, with the British and Americans closing in from the west and the Russians from the east, Goebbels poisoned his children, then his wife and himself, in Hitler's bunker in Berlin. He suicided his entire family because, in his own words, quote, "It would be impossible to continue to live in a world without National Socialism," unquote. In short, he took the ugly coward's way out rather than be able to perpetuate his own lies. He demonstrated the surefire fruits that the liar and propagandist are sure to harvest. This should be a lesson for each of us. Reject the lies of the propagandist and embrace truth. God is the originator of all truth, and man is only fortunate as he may stumble upon it and have the courage to embrace it. The truth of our existence today does not lay with scientists, doctors, media figures, or politicians. It abides with God and your ability to have faith in Him and His plan for you. So where are you going to devote your efforts? Which voices will you allow into your consciousness? Which wages will you reap, the lies of the mass propagandist or the truths of the Father of us all? Will you embrace the subtle, flaxen, and often sweet-sounding falsities of the propagandist, or the not-so-readily apparent truth that only God Himself can deliver to you? It comes down to choice. I know who I will choose to believe. Please subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and as always, have a blessed, blessed day.